Welcome back to CryptosRus. I'm George. We're all George. So today, let's talk about the Fed and the Fed minutes that revealed that the Board of Governors, including Powell, thinks that a recession is coming due to the weakness of banks. So how do we hedge against that? Well, Bitcoin. That's how we hedge. So let's talk about what happened. Let's also talk about Ethereum. It's a big upgrade that happened today. So any surprises? Let's discuss. Welcome, guys. Hopefully you guys are doing okay. You know, Bitcoin is still doing okay. Still above $30,000. But you know what? The stock market turned red today. You could see, boom, actually turned pretty red for NASDAQ overall. After we had I would say a decent inflation reading, showed inflation going down in March, but this minutes scared a whole lot of people. Now the minutes usually do not say more than what was already said during the press conferences, right? But this last one was very strange because the FOMC meeting was only 2 weeks after the SV Bank failure. And Powell himself didn't want to reveal too much of what they had said behind closed doors. I remember during the press conference, they would even say, well, he would say that, okay, yeah, we talked about some stuff, but just wait until the minutes comes out, right? So the minutes came out stating what was said last month, and they expect that the banking crisis will cause a recession this year. Now, here's the thing. I know this sounds bad, okay? And we know banks are still weak, right? But here's the thing. We're already in a recession, okay? 2 negative growth GDP quarters in consecutive periods. That means we're in recession. So, I mean, the Fed actually changed their definition of what a recession is. Let's get that out of the way. Second of all, we know that the Fed has been bailing out these banks ever since SV Bank, right? But they came out with a lot of other mechanisms to make sure the banks are not going to fail, right? So, I don't know. I think this data is a month old. I know that. The market got spooked, but I don't know. I don't know if it's as bad as it seems. It could be. Obviously, we have economic data that shows that there's softening and weakening, which is exactly what Powell wants. That's what he wants. He wants job growth to slow down. He wants the unemployment go up. He wants to see softening with purchases, with retail purchases, manufacturing, everything, right? And we're starting to see all that already. But now with the banks, I mean, I know this is what they said because this was 2 weeks after the SV Bank failure. But since then, they have been spinning up the money printer and they have been loaning out money left and right for the past month. That's why the Fed balance sheet went up about $500 billion since last month, right? So, I don't know. I think this data is a little bit outdated. I'm going to stick by with what I said this morning, which is this. With banking weakness, okay, and with inflation coming down, and with other stuff that's happening around the world right now, right? I mean, there's just a lot of things at play, but I think this next FOMC meeting, we will not get another rate hike. I think we will stay. Even though there are people that are predicting or saying that the Fed will increase rates another 25 basis points twice to 5.5%. This is a very fluid market. We will get more data this month before the next FOMC meeting, and I just don't see it. So I'm going to stick by with what I said, and I believe it is right. But we will see. But overall, whether you have recession or whether you have more inflation or if you have both, how do you hedge against it? Well, You guys know already. You hold and buy some Bitcoin, okay? And the one person, I shouldn't say one because Peter Schiff, Jim Cramer, you know, they're also in the group. But Warren Buffett still does not believe in Bitcoin. Says people like to play the lottery, okay, which is what the crypto craze is, including Bitcoin. You know, he could just say, okay, maybe the rest of crypto is like playing a lottery and Bitcoin is different, but no, he's labeling everything together. It's appealing to the gambling instinct. We had an explosion of gambling. So he believes invest in Bitcoin, it's gambling. I don't think he has all the facts or he's ignoring the facts. Okay? I don't think within his lifetime he will ever change his mind. But Bitcoin is far from gambling. When you have a commodity, you have a digital currency, you have a store value that's being embraced by countries, by institutions. I mean, it's hard to say that that's gambling. Like everyone is just gambling over Bitcoin. No, because it has proven itself, right? But Warren Buffett, I don't believe will change his mind ever. But you could consider Michael Saylor a gambler because he put in $4 billion into Bitcoin, but his Bitcoin strategy has worked. He has broke even, actually not broke even. He is in the green now through all his DCAs. And since MicroStrategy adopted its Bitcoin strategy, Bitcoin is up 152% versus NASDAQ, versus S&P, versus gold, silver, and bonds, right? So who's gambling? I don't know. I don't think it's Michael Saylor. Maybe he just was so, after being educated, he just had that conviction and faith, and he knew that this was the right move, right? Sometimes you just know, and it's not gambling, right? Well, so far, he's right. He's right. And states, covered Arkansas, I think a few days ago, Texas, right? They want to protect Bitcoin miners. Montana wants to protect Bitcoin miners. Is this gambling when states are now issuing laws to protect Bitcoin miners? Is that considered gambling? I don't think so. Because these states are collecting revenue. They're beefing up their energy grid because they know Bitcoin miners take a lot of energy, right? But overall, it's a win-win situation. They get to upgrade their power infrastructure and collect more revenue. What's not to like about that? I'd say nothing. Pretty good. You know, and as for this bull run, this guy, TA analyst, is expecting Bitcoin to go up to 400,000. At this point, it's anyone's guess. You could guess 200,000, 250,000, 400,000, right? But you could see that every single cycle, you kind of have similarities. Bottom, you have a breakout period, right? There's a lot of charts, a lot of signals, a lot of moving averages and metrics that show the same thing, right? So really no surprise at this point. The real surprise is how fast it happens. Not if it happens, how fast it happens. Because there are a lot of predictions that Bitcoin could actually break through its previous high, right, of 69,000, even as early as this year. In September, right? That would be absolutely mind-blowing if it happens. And if it does, then imagine what actually is going to happen after the halving event in 2024. And then what happens after the year after that, which is the most bullish, right? And then can we hit 400,000? Well, who knows? Maybe. Also, this shows, basically, I know my camera's cutting it off, but let me remove my camera. This shows basically no one is selling Bitcoin. Even though Bitcoin has almost doubled from its low of about 15, 16,000, look at the right-hand side. There's just no one looking to sell right now, right? So when you have no sell pressure, basically only buy pressure, along with the supply decreasing, well, you know what that adds up to, like this. Right? So it's all looking pretty good, guys. Pretty good. Bitcoin is not gambling. It's the truth. It's your path to financial freedom. And it's really the best hedge against inflation and against recession. That's my argument. Now, as for the other big crypto, Ethereum had his hard fork today. Okay, successful. It is done. Now, a lot of exchanges are still not opening up their withdrawals yet. So if you're panicking, like, why can't I withdraw my Ethereum tokens or ETH, right? It's because they're still trying to upgrade. I know Coinbase said that it's done, and now you can not only unstake, but also withdraw. And I know others are trying to catch up, but officially you can unstake your ETH if you wanted to. But right now, there is still a ton of ETH deposited. There does not seem to be a massive exodus of people trying to unstake and sell, right? Why would you want to do that now? And Ethereum's price is still holding at 1,900. So really, it's a non-event, right? This scared a hell of a lot of people thinking that there'll be massive ETH dumping. No, right? So Ethereum has been weak recently. Maybe this alleviates that, and maybe we're going to start seeing Ethereum gain strength once again. Now, keep in mind, there's an enormous amount of ETH not being staked right now, right? Last time I checked, it's like 15%. If that climbs up to 70%, like some of the other chains out there, watch out, right? But in other news, I saw this, Avalanche. They're getting 2 financial companies to join them and create Subnet for Forex testing. Okay. We know that Avalanche recently launches Evergreen subnets for institutions. They're kind of like private subnets within the public chain. And that's exactly what's happening. Now you have big financial companies testing it out. So Avalanche also getting a lot of attention recently. And this other project, Ripple, well, the SEC is also getting desperate, filed a new argument, and I'm no lawyer, but the ones that have reviewed this thinks it's absolutely silly, and the judge on this case will basically dismiss it or throw it out, right? So it does seem like Ripple is winning, SEC is getting desperate, right? And this maybe coming to a conclusion soon, sooner than expected. If we have this conclude, let's say in the next 60 days, 90 days, right? I mean, this could definitely be a catalyst to drive Bitcoin entire market higher, because it'll be the first time SEC really loses a major case, and it could set the precedents for so many things in the future. So this could be coming to an end soon. And then lastly, this is not good news. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. But supposedly, the lawyers for FTX says that they have recovered close to $8 billion, $7.9 billion to be exact. So now they feel so confident that they say they are actually considering relaunching the FTX exchange in Q2. Guess what? We're ready in Q2. So I don't know if this is actually a thing. Like, are they really considering this? Can they just really open up and pretend like nothing's happened? Will people get their crypto back? I would like to think so, right? I don't know what's actually happening, but this was reported today, okay? One thing for sure is SBF, Caroline, all the others, they're not going to play a role in this, right? So I don't know who the new leadership is, but FTX may be coming back. I mean, this is real. They're really considering this. Rather than go through the bankruptcy stuff, they actually want to relaunch. So get ready. Get ready for the new FTX that may be coming. All right. That's what I want to cover. Let's do some Q&A. All right. All right, let me scroll down. I gotta say, I'm feeling pretty tired today. It's 86 in Minneapolis, where I am. It was very hot, 70s. Took the car out. First time filling it up. Pretty nice, but I was so busy the whole day. I'm like busy every day now, like really, really busy. It's tiring me out. Let's see. Where's the best place to stake ETH? I guess everywhere now. You could do it everywhere. You could still put it into like a liquid stake provider like Lido, but now you could do it in Coinbase. You could do it in Binance. You could do it everywhere. I didn't even check Trust Wallet if they allow you to stake ETH within now too. But basically, you should be able to stake it everywhere. BDC is a gift from God. No, it's a gift from man. I stole this from Robert Kiyosaki, but he's like, there's 3 types of money. One created by God, which is like gold, and then one created by man, which is Bitcoin, and one created by the government, which is fiat, right? So BDC was created for the people, by the people. If you stake ETH today, does that mean you could unstake tomorrow? Yes. As far as I know, Ed, that's how it works. I mean, some projects, there's like a delay. Like if you want to unstake, Polygon takes 3 days. If you want to unstake Atom, I think it's like 21 days. If you want to unstake Phantom, 7 days. I don't know what the exact day is for Ethereum. I'm pretty sure it's either instant or maybe it takes a day or two. I'll have to double check on that. But at least it's not forever or indefinite. Oh, today is DCA day. My portfolio is probably looking pretty good right now. Let me bring it up. Logging in. Oh, look at that. 21%. Oops. Save, okay. Hey, 21% is way better than last week. And last week we were like at 27%. Let's look at 1 week performance. 4%. 1 month performance, 14%. 3 month performance, 46%. 6 months performance, 76%. That's not bad. I think this would be better if I was heavier into Bitcoin. But you know what? 1 week performance of 4.32%, that's not bad. So overall, down to about 21%, minus 21%. But you know what? The power of DCA, you just keep on going, right? Eventually, it's still going to turn green. I know a lot of you guys have said you have DCA'd even since top, and you're now in green. Probably you've been DCing a lot more into Bitcoin than some of the alts because the alts have been struggling. But alts will get their day. But right now, I definitely think no-brainer. Bitcoin has all the strength. Bitcoin is leading the way. So just go with Bitcoin. Just go with Bitcoin. There's actually a few smaller projects I want to add, but I don't know. Just right now, it doesn't seem like it's the right time because of how strong Bitcoin is. You know what? I'm just going to add Bitcoin because I'm not doing... I haven't added Bitcoin for a while. I don't know about a while, but I haven't had it enough. So that let's just put it that way. So $100 into Bitcoin will be what? 0.03324. All right. So this week, pretty simple. Another $100 into Bitcoin, right? And we will watch this grow together into green and then into all-time highs soon. Soon. We're on our way. Bro, don't get a DWI equal DCA while intoxicated. So don't DCA while intoxicated. Is that what you're saying? Budweiser seems like they really shot themselves in the foot twice, maybe 10 times. I'm hearing absolutely disastrous stuff happen with Bud Light and Budweiser. Their sales have absolutely tanked. I guess this serves them more right. Have you heard of Casper? From what they are saying, they're better than ADA. A lot of people say they're better than a lot of other projects, but unless they get a network effect, then they're really not. You got a lot of projects that say that they're better than Ethereum, but are they as valuable as Ethereum? The answer is no, right? Network effect is tough to fake. How much Bitcoin do you think Gary Gensler owns? I bet Gary has a ton of BTC. I mean, he was teaching classes on Bitcoin and blockchain, right? Like he was so pro. So there's no way. And the guy's worth like $300 million or something like that, something crazy. So I'm pretty sure he has a few million of Bitcoin, at least, if not like 10 million or 20 million. I like Sapporo. I have nothing against Sapporo. You guys watched the Lakers game yesterday? Never should have gone into overtime, but I'm glad they pulled it out. Otherwise, I would have been really pissed off. But I don't know how they're going to defeat Denver. That's gonna be tough. AD has to guard Jokic. I ordered 50 GPUs from Alibaba for next cycle. When can I move them into my house? Never. Never. Why would you order them from Alibaba? That you're getting like generic stuff. You just go straight to Nvidia now. Lakers Prime versus Bulls Prime. I know everyone, all the Jordan fans will say, yeah, you know, Bulls go win, no problem. But I don't know. I think it'll be close because Rodman was such a good defender. But, you know, no one could stop Shaq, right? Kobe, Lakers prime, Kobe would do a pretty good job, I think, canceling out Jordan. Jordan will probably still have the edge, but they're pretty damn close. They would probably guard each other too and probably cancel each other out. No one's stopping Shaq. Rodman could try, but Rodman is not going to counter Shaq with offense, right? So Shaq would still get his 30 to 40 points a game. Easy. And I don't know. I don't know if you're like, who's going to counter Scottie Pippen? I don't know. Rick Fox? Someone will. Scottie Pippen is not an offensive powerhouse, right? So I'm still going to say prime Lakers would probably win the series, but it would be like a 6 or 7 game series. I think you just couldn't stop Shaq. I mean, Longley and all those guys, Bill Wennington and Judd Bushler. I mean, those guys would be fouled out so quickly, it would not be funny. And Lakers have better three-point shooting because Bulls didn't shoot that many threes back in the day. Yeah. Like, someone like Luke Longley would not be in the NBA today. Like, all those guys from back in the day would not make it to the NBA today. I mean, nowhere close. You couldn't stop Jordan, but I think Kobe cancels out his production. Jordan was get his 30 and 40, and so would Kobe. So they kind of even things out. But no one's going to even out Shaq. There's no offensive powerhouse on the Bulls outside of Jordan. Pippen is not an offensive powerhouse. Rodman can't score. So Luke Longley, you think he's going to do anything against Shaq? That's the thing. I'm from Great Britain. Do you follow any football teams? AKA soccer? No, I don't. I don't actually really follow any sports other than NBA. And even then, I don't really follow that closely anymore. Just not that much time to. Tony Kukoc, I'll give you that. I forgot about Tony Kukoc. Well, Lakers had Derek Fisher, which was solid. They had Ron Harper. They had, I don't know if Ron Harper was during the prime of Lakers, but they had Ori. Ori was definitely solid. Who else did the Lakers have during their prime? I'm having a hard time remembering. But basically, you didn't need anyone else with Shaq and Kobe. Let's see. No, that doesn't show the Lakers. I wanted the Lakers roster. Yeah, I was right. Oh, they had Horace Grant too. I don't remember that. Devin George was solid. Rick Fox was solid. Ron Harper was definitely solid. Ori was good. And then, of course, you had Shaq and Kobe, and Fisher was pretty good, too. Yeah. What are your thoughts on Sheem and how high could it go in the next bull run? Well, it'll break through its previous high for sure. But, I'm kind of disappointed. Shibarium, Testnet, not a whole lot of action going on. They need a lot more dApps to come on board to Sheeb and really accelerate that Sheeb burning, which they hyped up a lot about. They need to accelerate that and kick that into high gear. No, Lakers prime was 2000, right? Yeah. This was their best year. Look at this. They went 3-0, and this should never happen, but because they got cocky. This was a year they could have gone all the way with no losses. They beat Portland 3-0. They beat Kings 4-0. They beat San Antonio. This is a team with Tim Duncan and David Robinson. They won 4-0 against the Spurs. They lost one game because Iverson got hot. It should have never happened. They could have swept the entire playoffs and the finals. When was the last time you remember a playoff run where the team went 3-0, 4-0, 4-0? I can't recall another team that has done that in the last 20 years. It's always like, back and forth, back and forth. You don't see that. I mean, that's how dominant they were. This was their second championship. It's just unstoppable. And Portland had, Rasheed Wallace and Sabonis, and they had Pippen, I think. So kind of defeated Bulls. No, they had Pippen on their team too. And Kings had, Weber. Those are good old days. Anyways, going back to this. Do I know any Lithuanian NBA players? Is that just Luka? Carl, it's different kind of tired. Mental fatigue is real. Just because you're not physical does not mean you can't get tired from mental fatigue. Do I like NHL? No. I do like fadeaways, but no one in NBA does that anymore other than Durant and Leonard. That's it. Why did Coinbase automatically stake my Solana? They probably didn't. You probably did it. All right, let's conclude. Overall, this is the big headline news. We will go into recession, confirmed by the Fed. But you know what? I'm gonna say I don't know. The landscape changed a little bit. I don't know if we're gonna go into recession. There will definitely be softening, weakness, right? But I think all the money printing is going to bail out of banks. And what that's going to do is just cause inflation to stay elevated. But we will see. We will see what happens. But ultimately, how you hedge against inflation and against recession and against everything else, you adopt a Bitcoin strategy like Michael Saylor. And you don't adopt what Warren Buffett has adopted, which is anti-Bitcoin. All right, guys, smash the like, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right, have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.